Hello, and we're back. And we're just talking about in the last video about these sequences that go down in the Crazies. These suspense-filled sequences, a thrill ride. I told you in the last video that I would talk about at least two of them. I don't want to ruin all of them, but I'm just going to let you know. Right now, spoiler alert. There were some spoilers in the first video, but spoiler alert here. But I don't know, maybe this will make you more excited to see this film. So I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to turn this off because I think that's nice. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so here comes the spoilers. If you didn't turn it off, then it's going to be spoiled. All right. So this is the first time we get to see this is the first suspense sequence, and if you watch the trailer, then it's the one where the guy is carrying the pitchfork. Danielle Panabaker's character, who we only see briefly, she's really briefly in this movie, and we'll talk about this later on after this. And the wife they're tied down in this room with a whole bunch of other people that are just really going crazy. People just laughing hysterically, uncontrollably, like the Joker or something. People having seizures. People repeating things over and over again, like this one was just praying over and over and over again. And it seems like the Crazies, like zombies, are attracted to noise. So this man is just dragging it. He's already crazy, and he's dragging this pitchfork, and it's like full of blood. So it's like, painting the floor almost. So he's dragging it. It goes really slow, and he just starts... Basically, if you ever saw Freddy vs. Jason, and you saw how Jason just killed that guy in the bed, like that, except for with a pitchfork. Just like impaling these people. Like, boom, boom, boom. And it looks so awesome. So he makes his way towards Danielle Panabaker. And then, it's like, oh my God. It's another moment. I was like, don't kill her off right now. Just don't. And I realized, like, damn, I actually like her in this movie. Like, she actually did a good job. She wasn't annoying. She wasn't too, CW. She was actually given a good part, and she did a good job with it. Now, you see him going, and he stabs a guy who's laughing uncontrollably, and then he's going towards the wife, and it's all suspenseful. Now, it was a really awesome thing, because it was just suspenseful, and it was done. It was just dragged out. Completely dragged out, and it has good gore, and it was really disturbing. But of course the sheriff comes and saves the wife, like usual, right? All right, so the second one I want to talk about is the car wash, which you've probably seen glimpses of in the trailer. This is so a plane is following them, and we know that the plane is probably going to bomb or shoot at them, because I said before, they bomb people who are still driving around and stuff because they think they're crazy. And basically, they go into they hide inside this car wash. A crazy person, remember, they're not really zombies. They can think because they're crazy. So they plot, and it's even more like, oh my God, these people are like really trying to get at me, because they really are. Like, they go hard. So they turn on the car wash, and they're like, damn, I don't know what's going on. And this, the deputy's trying to shoot at things, so he shoots out the window. And it's like, takes a long time until you get a glimpse of how many crazy people are waiting for them at the end. And so they start attacking. The wife was like banging this guy's head into the dashboard. Everyone's fighting something off except for Danielle Panabaker's character, who is hiding, just cowering. And now, us horror movie fans know that when someone is not doing anything in a big sequence like this, it's their time to die. That's just the rules. So, even though I knew it was coming, I was like, oh my God. Of course, everyone does it, So anyway, it's all over. Everyone's gone, supposedly. And so the windshield, every glass is, window is broken. So she looks out, outside the back window. And at that moment, I was like, no, don't do it to yourself. And then, and it happens in seconds. Just wonderful cuts. This was cut beautifully. Rope goes around her neck, pulled out, and hung. That should have been the poster. But it wasn't, because they didn't want to advertise. I get the feeling they didn't want to advertise Daniel Panabaker in this movie, because that would have given the movie CW status that was not desirable. Well, I don't blame them. But damn, that should have been the poster. That would have been kick-ass. That whole imagery was perfect. Other pros in this movie is that the secondary characters actually had just had meaning in this movie. For example, Becca's character, who we just talked about her death just now, which is probably gonna be the best death of 2010, because that was just awesome. So for me, she represents innocence, because not only does she go through all these things and she barely says a word. I mean, she watches her boyfriend get shot and his mother gets shot and then like incinerated, but she barely even says a word. She's almost like a child, seeing everything, seeing all these things. She's just helpless. And then the way her life is snatched away for no apparent reason kind of represents how this town was plagued with this disease for no apparent reason, how their normalcy and their lives were snatched away. So you can do the parallel there. So I really liked her character for that. She brought a lot with just presence. And it's a hard thing, and I felt like Daniel Panabaker pulled it off. So, to you, Daniel Panabaker, kudos. Thank you. I'm happy. You did a good job, and I will stop making fun of you, and I will take you more seriously on other roles. Anywho, and the deputy, who we know from the time they start quarantining people, who's gonna die, he knows he's gonna die. He has this nice little, this little parallel, not really parallel, what am I talking about? He has a nice confliction. I mean, he knows he's gonna die. At first he's in denial. Secondly, he's trying to deal with it. And thirdly, he's like, he gets offended when people, think that he's going crazy just because he's like shooting somebody. I mean, it's like the human, it's like they really explore, the emotion and the cause and effect. I'm trying to find the right words. They really explore the situation of, what if you were diagnosed with this horrible disease? What would you do? And it shows how he deals with it. And that's one of the big pros in this movie, that the secondary characters aren't just there to die. They had a lot of depth, and how he came to acceptance with his death, and, that how he wanted to die. That was all really powerful stuff. But there was a big, big letdown here. The main characters were not anything to relate to. They were horrible. They were two-dimensional, and they sucked. I mean, after everybody else dies and you're just left with them, you honestly don't care about them. And even though the movie stays interesting and there's a couple more suspenseful things, honestly, you don't care and you don't really want them to survive, which is bad. That's where the movie fails in the ending, because it seemed like they put so much effort into these, into these great sequences of suspense and horror, and then at the end, you just took a cop out of the whole atomic bomb. Yeah. So, last thoughts about this is that it is a great film, and you guys should see it because it's awesome. And if you love horror, then this will be a great time to go see it, because it should be seen on the big screen. I'm so disappointed that I saw it as a matinee, and I actually think I might go see it again. So the Crazies visually gets a 5, story gets a 3, and acting gets a 3. But visually, and actually story should get a 4, because that's part of the story, these sequences. So, out of this, I would give The Crazies a 4, because it should be viewed by every horror fan, and it's a great one to go to and just experience with other people. So that's it for The Crazies. This has been Lost Life Reviews. Well, what am I talking about? No bullshit reviews. And I will be coming back to answer the question that Piroto16 asked me.